One of these partnerships includes turkey producers Farbest Foods in Jasper, Indiana.
Farbest really started back in the late 1960s, processing less than 1 million turkeys in a year. We've transitioned into 15 million turkeys a year.
The international markets for Farbest are very important. Roughly 30% of our overall volume that we produce on an annual basis goes to export markets. Of that, 95% of our exports go down to Mexico.
Annually, Mexico imports approximately 170 million pounds of turkey, making it the largest export market for turkey meat. With the help of Indiana's soybean checkoff dollars, USAPEC was able to provide assistance to Farbest in establishing a stronger presence in Mexico and increase the already substantial amount of turkeys exported across the border by a significant margin.
I knew it was going to be a hit, and that's when I approached USAPEC, and USAPEC spoke with Indiana Corn and Soybean, who then graciously allowed their checkoff dollars to be used towards the project.
There was an opportunity for us to bring together U.S. producers with Mexican processors. Checkoff organizations are very generous with us with USAPEC. They provide us funds to conduct these promotional activities. And they do so because the poultry industry is one of the largest consumers of soybean. Corn is also one of the grains that poultry products consume. When we expand this consumption, it also benefits all the corn farmers.
We consume now 7 million bushels of Indiana corn and 3.5 million bushels of soybeans through soybean meal. And we have to connect with the foreign markets, and the checkoff helps us do that.
Well, our partnership with USAPEC has allowed for market access. The way it impacts the local communities, and when I say local, I mean the state of Indiana and our farmers, is that when we're able to grow in the export market and have access to more markets, it allows us to grow more turkeys. And more turkeys, in turn, consume more corn and soybeans.
Thanks to USAPEC's support and Indiana's checkoff dollar investment in programs like this, Farbest has been able to establish a firm footing in Mexico. One of these being Maple Leaf Farms and the promotion of Indiana duck to companies and regions that U.S. poultry has little or no exposure.
Maple Leaf Farms started in 1958 by my grandfather, Donald Wenzel. The time that my grandfather died, we raised about 1 million ducks, and now today we'll probably raise 10 to 12 million ducks per year.
We're unique in Indiana to have the largest duck producer in the state. They partner with USAPEC as well, so many of our cooperators are members of USAPEC just like we are.
With the help of Indiana soybean checkoff dollars, USAPEC was able to introduce maple leaf products to India, a nation that had never imported U.S. poultry.
To introduce our products to India today was a big success, and without the help of USAPEC and the funds from Indiana farmers, I don't think we could have done that.
We have been blessed in the fact that we have actually penetrated so many markets thanks to many associations like Indiana Soybean and USAPEC. I don't think we'd have built our brand if it wasn't for you.
Indiana product, which is maple leaf product, is one of the most sold products in India.
We as farmers are really good at producing, whether it be pork or poultry or corn or soybeans. We're not so good at marketing. Marketing is the end user, and that end user may be a taco stand in Mexico using Indiana duck. That's where the market's at. If we're going to produce more than we can use domestically, we have to cultivate those markets, and that's what much of what our checkoff's doing for us. We move the pile.
I've spent my entire life cultivating this piece of land. When I first realized that soybeans are turned into an extraordinary variety of food products and served on dining tables all around the world, I felt a tremendous sense of responsibility. These crops provide growing children in countless countries with nutrients and nourishment they need. It is for this reason that I decided to adopt sustainable cultivation techniques. I want to conserve this land and pass it on to future generations.
세계인의 영양을 책임지는 미국산 콩. 다음 세대에도 물려줘야 합니다.
We originally started looking at all the things that farmers were doing in the state. How are some ways that we can highlight that? Once we dug in and started looking at all the products they have, we figured that there was quite a few that made a lot of sense. High Lake soybean oil being one of them. With it being grown right here, even all the way down into our county, was amazing.
Through the Pacers, they made some introductions. They introduced us to the High Lake soybean oil, and when the team from the Soybean Alliance came in, they kind of explained the science of it. That light bulb definitely went off, and I had a few aha moments there.
They've been a great resource. I mean, I think anytime there was an obstacle, whether it was getting it brought to the building, the price, the different mechanics of getting it on the building and all those kind of things, they've been amazing.
3 years ago, we were having challenges with our oil provider. It didn't last very long. It gunked up the fryers. High Lake soybean oil, you get cleaner tasting food. There's less like that greasy fryer smell in the air. The oil just stays clearer for longer, and it really is a lot easier to filter. Because it's able to be cleaned and kept fresh longer, we probably get 2 to 3 extra days of fry life out of each fryer.
We actually ended up saving money. It's a better product. The food tastes better. It's easier to work with. If it works for us, then why not other folks around here, other restaurants, and then even going beyond the state lines. We're actually even looking into more ways to use some other products that are made out of soybean. We're using even some outside that are, made for concrete and things along those lines with pore shield.